Most American tourists think renting a car in Japan is going to work exactly like it does back home in the United States. And honestly, that mistake alone can completely ruin an entire trip. Welcome to this explainer. If you're a focused learner wanting to get straight to the facts, well, you're in the exact right place. Look, most tourists visiting Japan rely entirely on the country's world-class train system. And sure, the trains are incredibly efficient, but relying only on them means you're missing out on some of the absolute most breathtaking, hidden parts of the country. Renting a car unlocks those quiet coastal routes, the hidden mountain hot springs, and ancient rural villages that the trains just don't reach. But navigating the rental process as an American tourist, that requires some very specific preparation. So today, we're breaking down exactly what you need to know to hit the road confidently. This is all designed to save you stress, save you money, and honestly, save you a whole lot of confusion.
So let's kick things off with a really critical question. It's one that trips up thousands of travelers every single year. Can you legally drive in Japan by just showing up at the rental counter with your valid US driver's license? What do you think? Take a guess.
Well, the harsh truth is absolutely not. No way. An American driver's license by itself is just going to leave you stranded at the rental counter. The agencies will categorically refuse to hand over the keys, and your epic road trip, yeah, it'll be over before it even begins. It's a super common mistake, but the good news is it's entirely preventable if you just know the rules before you leave the States.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover 1. Mandatory documents for Americans. 2. Why rent a car? 3. Navigating Japanese traffic rules. 4. Mastering tolls and etc. 5. Gas stations and parking. And finally, 6. Common tourist mistakes.
Let's dive right into Section 1, Mandatory Documents for Americans.
All right, this is the paperwork you absolutely must secure before you even think about boarding your flight to Tokyo. When you walk up to that rental counter, you need to present what we like to call the legal triad. These 3 physical documents form the absolute legal basis for your ability to rent and drive a car in Japan. First up, your valid passport, and it has to show your temporary visitor entry stamp. Second, your original valid U.S. state driver's license. And third, your IDP or international driving permit. Listen, if you're missing even one of these 3 physical documents, the agency will refuse the rental completely, no exceptions.
Now pay really close attention to this part, because it's exactly where so many people fail. Your IDP has to be a physical gray booklet based specifically on the 1949 Geneva Convention, and if you're from the US, it must be issued by the AAA or the ATAA. Got a digital IDP on your phone? Completely invalid. Printed it out on A4 paper? Invalid. What about a permit under the 1968 Vienna Convention or something you bought from a random online vendor? Categorically invalid. You absolutely must arrange this official physical booklet before you leave the United States. Whatever you do, do not wait until you arrive in Japan.
Moving on to Section 2, Why rent a car?
So you might be wondering, why go through all this bureaucratic hassle in the first place? Well, because a car totally frees you from those rigid train schedules. And when you do rent one, you really might want to consider checking out a K car. It's this lightweight, uniquely Japanese vehicle that you can spot by its yellow license plates. It has a maximum 650cc engine limit. Now, to be clear, they aren't meant for blasting down the expressway from massive cross-country hauls, but they are a fantastic, budget-friendly option. Their tiny little footprint makes them perfectly designed for navigating those extremely narrow village streets and mountain passes where standard bulky SUV would just get completely stuck.
And here's the real payoff. Having a car gives you access to places like Michi-no-Iki. These are government-designated roadside stations, and there are over 1,200 of them scattered across the country. But they aren't just boring rest stops. They are these vibrant community hubs filled with local crafts, amazing fresh regional food, and sometimes, get this, even foot baths and hot springs. You simply cannot access most of these incredible coastal routes, family farm destinations, and rural gems by train. Renting a car gives you a level of flexibility that most tourists frankly never get to experience. All right, Section 3, Navigating Japanese Traffic Rules.
So driving in Japan definitely requires a bit of a mental shift. There's a massive contrast between driving in the States versus driving in Japan. For starters, you'll be driving on the left side of the road. And the steering wheel, it's going to be on the right side of the car. It takes a little getting used to, for sure. You might even find your turn signals and wipers feel reversed at first. But here is another huge difference you need to burn into your brain. In Japan, there is absolutely no turning on a red light, ever. You must wait for the green light, or a specific green arrow before you make any turn. Beyond just which side of the road you're on, you've got to understand these non-negotiable traffic laws.
First, Japan has a strict zero-tolerance policy for drinking and driving. I mean it, even a single drink is illegal. Next, you must come to a complete full stop at all railroad crossings. You have to visually check both ways, even if the crossing barriers are raised and there's obviously no train coming. Stop anyway. Also, pedestrians have absolute priority. If someone is at a crosswalk, you must stop. Failing to yield or rolling through a train crossing carries incredibly heavy fines. Oh, and here's a handy mental trick to help you stay in the correct lane. Just always keep the center white line on your right side.
Let's jump to Section 4, Mastering Tolls and etc.
Okay, so Japan has an extensive, beautifully maintained expressway network, but it relies heavily on tolls. And tourists are often pretty shocked by just how frequent and expensive those tolls can actually be. To make your life infinitely easier, you're going to need an ETC card. Most rental agencies will rent you this physical card for a tiny little fee. They just slot it into a device right in your car. And with it, you can drive nonstop right through the purple toll gates on the highway. You don't have to fumble around for cash or wait in long lines. The machine just logs your journey, and you simply settle the final toll bill with the rental agency when you drop the car off. Honestly, it is the ultimate stress reliever for long drives.
And it gets even better. If you have an ETC card, you can take advantage of regional expressway passes. These are basically special flat-rate passes exclusively available to foreign tourists. So whether you're driving through Hokkaido, Tohoku, or Kyushu, you just pay a flat fee upfront for a set number of days. That gives you unlimited driving on those regional expressways. If you're planning a major road trip, combining an ETC card with one of these passes is an absolute game changer and will save you a massive amount of money. Always ask your rental agency if your route qualifies.
Section 5. Gas stations and parking. Filling up and parking are two things that often intimidate beginners, mostly because both operate just a bit differently than back in the US. There is a universal color coding system on Japanese gas pumps, and it exists to prevent catastrophic engine damage. The red nozzle is regular unleaded gasoline, and that's what most standard rental cars use. Yellow is high-octane premium, and green is exclusively for diesel. Do not, under any circumstances, put the green diesel nozzle into a standard rental car. If you happen to pull into a full service station, just smile at the attendant and say regular Montan. That simply means regular gas, full tank.
Now, when it comes to parking in cities, you're very likely to encounter Japan's unique automated flat parking lots. First rule, don't freak out when your car gets locked in. Here's exactly how it works. You pull your car directly into the space over a flat metal barrier on the ground. After about 3 to 5 minutes, that metal barrier automatically rises up underneath your car, physically locking it into the space. When you're ready to leave, you just walk over to the central payment machine, type in your parking space number, pay the fee, and the barrier automatically lowers so you can safely drive away. It's actually brilliant and incredibly efficient once you wrap your head around it. And our final section, Section 6. Common tourist mistakes.
We have covered a lot of ground today, so let's quickly recap by highlighting the unforced errors that catch Americans completely off guard. First, never show up with a digital IDP or a Vienna Convention permit. Bring that physical 1949 Geneva booklet. Second, stop parking nose-in. In Japan, it's a strict cultural expectation and safety practice to always reverse or back into parking spaces. Third, don't just assume rural gas stations are open 24/7. A lot of them close early, so make it a habit to keep your tank above half full. And finally, please do not pick up your rental car and immediately hit the road if you're exhausted from a 12-hour international flight. Navigating a completely new country on the left side of the road requires your absolute full concentration. You really need to be sharp.
So there you have it. You now have the knowledge, the legal requirements, and the cultural insights to safely and confidently navigate the roads of Japan. It is truly an incredibly rewarding experience that opens up a world far beyond the major train stations, allowing you to strategically combine public transit with driving. So now that you have the roadmap and you know exactly what to do, where will your Japanese road trip take you? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy travels!